IDEAcademy's not over yet. Please welcome to the stage, OWEN Foster.
Good morning. So listening to everyone before me reminds me that our lives are beautiful stories that we never stop writing. I mean, it's chapters upon chapters interweaving happiness, sadness, victories, defeats. But then you come across people that have such amazing, inspirational stories, like people that inspired the world just by their accomplishments in their own life. People that crafted an amazing story of themselves by creating amazing stories. You have people that approach life with such intensity and ferocity, challenging the world on the top stages, all the while hiding behind a smile that lights up the room. Then you have people that are able to see the beauty of the world that most of us aren't even capable of. This is the person I want to grow up to be like. So then they ask, "Owen, you want to come speak?" Why would you want me on stage? Looking at the list of the presenters, who wants to read my story? Why would you pick up my book? Yeah, there's some funny stories in there. I've done a few little things. But truthfully, I'm just an educator. And then it hit me. Maybe it's because I am an educator. They wanted me on stage. I mean, I have a passion of breaking down things just to inspire other people to do greater things in their own life. All right? But first, you can't judge me by the chapter in which you walked in on. You can't judge anyone else by just the initial contact with them. Because unless you've walked in my shoes and through the journeys of the ups and downs, you might not realize why I'm standing here today. But each chapter of my life has allowed me to dig deeper inside myself, to find my purpose, my relevance, and in search of my self-worth. Now, to me, self-worth is the greatest thing that someone can accomplish. It allows you to go home, look in the mirror, and go, I feel good about something that I've done. The greatest thing that I've ever accomplished in my life, coaching Little League sports. I did it for 15 years. 9 to 12-year-olds, football, baseball. Take the parents out, it's the greatest thing ever. But seeing those kids, it's not about the competition. It's not about who's winning, who's losing. That's for the upper age groups. It's about the love of the game, the camaraderie, growing as a person, because a lot of times I'm sitting on the bench with my kids talking about life, not about the next play. So to me, finding that self-worth and that same feeling was hard, because I always grew up chasing money. I needed titles, right? That's a lot of our grind every day. Well, then I went back to college in my 30s. Let's just say my first go around in college, I made great grades, but I was a terrible student. I was the dude that sit there, skip class, find someone with the notes, take the test right then, pass it, and then forget everything I've just learned or just read. But then when I went back to grad school, I found myself helping the undergrads with their studies until 4 a.m, neglecting my own work. But then I would start from 4 to 8, get my stuff done, turn it in. Well, this was at Auburn University. They saw that something inside of me lit up. They asked me to stay there as a visiting professor. which I did. Next thing you know, I found it again. I knew what my purpose was. I knew what made me happy. Well, then I went into industry, then I came back into education. I still do both, but I will never give up teaching. It took a lot of tenacity and fortitude for me to develop patience, precision, and even endurance that allowed positive impact on myself, which in turn I hope allows me to help other people identify their own unique abilities that the world can't do without. As mentioned before, they're superpowers. Now, if you've talked to me, you've heard me state, the only thing that you can claim 100% yours are your failures. Because most things that you accomplish, someone else has accomplished too. But failing at it, you've done all of the things and you figured out what not to do. But the problem is everybody hears that and you're supposed to remember your mistakes. No, forget the mistakes, forget the failure. Because it's not that I failed at this, I didn't do this. No, it's the lessons, the nuggets that you take from that that makes you better. You don't name that, oh, I missed the shot. No, but I didn't make it at that point. But what can I learn from it? Because it's what people don't see that makes you who you are. I guarantee everyone in this room has had a struggle, has had to work at something, had to put extra time in, had to practice, had to study harder. Because if your life was that easy from start to finish, you've got something no one else in the world has. And that's the hard part. Because we always want something and what we wish for. My mother told me when I was a kid, son, you're not going to get what you wish for. You're going to get what you work for. Now, if you ask people that hung around me when I was a kid, Owen was the luckiest kid. He got all kinds of things. Yes, my parents did spoil me a touch. But no one stepped back and go, oh yeah, but Owen worked on a 2,000-acre farm. While we were out having fun in the summers, I'm chopping cotton. I'm hauling rocks. I'm lifting hay. Trust me, my father made sure I worked hard for everything. But I've always heard that working hard puts you where good luck can find you. I hope so. Because me and Murphy are just like this right now. Anything and everything that can go wrong happens to this guy. So I'm walking around with my lotto tickets going, Lady Luck, I've worked hard, where you at? But I do believe that. Because I think if you work hard, you put yourself in those moments, that's where luck happens. It's not just by chance. And then when I know life's getting hard, because you have those moments, it's just you'll sit there and you'll ponder and you'll think about it. You might even be mad at the world, mad at yourself. But once you calm down, once I have that moment of, I want to break something, I go look in the mirror and go, congratulations. You just leveled up in life. Because if life is too easy, what are you learning? Don't you need to challenge yourself to make yourself better? There's a great commercial right now by J.J. Watts. He said, find your person. Find your equal on the opposite side. Find the person that will challenge you, your opponent. Because as they're working hard to beat you, you're working hard to beat them. And it's a mutual growth. That's life. The harder I work at life, the more life throws at me to make it harder. And once I think I feel comfortable with something, then I'm gonna find something else that challenges me again. Because I'm that type of person, I can get bored real easy. I think that's where my mischievousness comes in. I sit there, okay, yeah. And when I work with students at 2 a.m, they're trying to get stuff done. I'm trying to have fun. I actually have to excuse myself out of the building because I'm doing more harm than good. But hey, I'm still enjoying it. And so I want to give you a quick story. And yes, it's going to be quick because I'm great at going long-winded. The chapter in my life right now, let's go back a few months. It's late June, early July. I'm in England, working with a prep school. I'm working with these students in the creative thought process, challenging them to think differently. Because at this school, it's all about your marks. It's all about the check boxes. Whatever the teacher wants, you do that. You don't try to grow beyond that list. So I'm over there going, no. Let's not worry about the rules. Let's do this. Bring out your inner child. You're only like 13, 14 years old. Why do you already have blinders on? So we're working at it. I just got accepted to teach for a year at UTC in Chattanooga. I'm now the director of innovation of the Honors College. I know the next month when I get home, I'm up here in Sullivan County working with A+ goals. It's teaching young girls to have literacy and self-confidence, empowerment. And then I get a phone call at 4 a.m. over in the UK. It's from my family. I'm like, gosh, I have forgotten I'm in the UK. They're calling me. Of course you answer, what? The lodge burned. Now this lodge is sitting on my family's property. My great-grandfather started buying this property in 1914, finished up in 1948. He bought 6,000 acres, continuous acres. My dad retired from construction and farming and built a lodge on this property. We have horse rides, we have events, we have things like that. So my mom and dad's retirement is this lodge. And that's what it looked like when I got home. No one was hurt, thankfully, but all of my dad's family relics were burned. He had things from his great-grandfather, his father. There's one gun that actually came over to the colonies. It's been passed down to the oldest son every generation, and he was the last one to hold it. Now, I'm on a high because my career and different things, and I've taken a turn, and I'm doing certain things that I think are very important. And then I have to come home to talk to my parents about what do we do. Well, we're sitting there, and since 2013, me and a couple of my partners have been running a shift camp. It's a design camp for students from all over the world and professionals. And we come out to this location and they have to camp. But each year we do challenges based around a hyperlocal theme on design thinking and creativity. Well, I get a call from one of my partners, and he said, because the news had spread about the family's property being burned, a lot of the students have reached out to him to give money. Well, we don't like taking money. We're kind of prideful. But all of a sudden it hit me. All the good that I did, hopefully for them to change their views on life, now they're wanting to make sure that my family has that opportunity to give to other students in the future. So they started a GoFundMe. I told my dad about it, and he's like, I have no idea what GoFundMe means. I said, Dad, they want to make sure that you and Mother are still here for them to come to visit. I always think it's me, but it's not really me that they come to visit. I even had one student said, "Your dad is the coolest American I've ever met." I'm like, "Wait, I was your professor." He goes, "Yeah, but you're not as cool as your dad." I was like, "Thanks." So right then, I knew, mixed with my family being extremely stubborn, we were not going to give up. It wasn't even an option. We already had it planned, how to clean it up, what we were going to try to find, all of those things, and how we were going to rebuild it. And then at the end of that, as much as it hurts, I know I'm going to look back on these moments and know that I was changed for the better because I got through it. I worked with my family. We actually become closer through all the arguments that we're having right now because everyone has an opinion. Unfortunately, we don't listen to everybody else's opinions. And though my journey has been one hell of a ride, I'm proud to know that my story's not yet finished. I want my last chapter in my book to read. He gave every ounce that he had helping the next generations to become greater than I'll ever be. Because if I'm not doing that, then what am I really doing? Why am I really teaching if I don't want the next generations to have something that I don't have? Because again, I was built on the shoulders of giants. I want to be that platform that other people jump from. And at the very end, I wanted to say, Owen made a difference. And I don't even care if it says Owen. It could be the loud, bald-headed guy that cracks jokes, but he made a difference. And to me, I think that's why I'm standing on this stage. Because I want to challenge you to first find your own superpower. I mean, we heard today, happiness is the starting point. But what makes you so valuable that the world can't do without you? Because everybody has it. And a lot of times it's not one thing. Right? I had a mentor ask me once, "What makes you unique?" Well, I knew he didn't want a simple answer. So it took me a month and a half to answer that one question. I came in, I said, "I have a question, I have a statement, and I have my answer." He goes, "Okay, shoot." I said, "First, what is unique? Second, the statement is, there's not one characteristic that I have that is unique in this world. There's billions of people. I guarantee millions have the same characteristics." But I said, "But what makes me unique is that combination of characteristics, traits, stories, tragedies, defeats, victories. That's what makes me unique." And that's what I want you to, I challenge you to define what makes you that superhero. And then once you find that, find someone else to help them find their own. It doesn't matter if they're young, old, because truthfully, wisdom flows both ways. So with that said, thank you.